importance of the subject. Let me congratulate all of you who have joined third semester in the civil engineering, because now your core is going to be started now. So I congratulate you, all of you for joining third semester in Department of Civil Engineering as well as at MNIT Allahabad. Although I hope you are coming for the practical classes by November 15, 2021 in the physical mode. So we will be more interacting, and I will be also very much happy to see you people, and you will also enjoy the campus as well as the study at the institute. So I think any class you have attended today, sorry, yesterday also. It is started from the 1st November.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We are attending from 8 a.m.
Lot of classes.
Very good. So in civil engineering, what class you have attended in the theory?
Sir, strength of materials and
Strength of material is being taught by
Fluid
applied
Fluid
physics.
mechanics.
mechanics, SMBT.
One by one. Otherwise,
computer-based numerical techniques.
yeah.
We have two lectures on CBNT, one lecture of
Okay.
BPC,
Okay. Very good.
and we have lab classes for the same. One lab class for CBNT and one
So
for
Dr.
BPC.
Gautam Ghosh was teaching the
Yes, sir, BPC.
taught you this construction and planning.
Building planning and construction.
Building planning and construction. Okay. So let me start this engineering geology. I think you know myself. Let me introduce first Hemant Kumar Pandey, that is HK Pandey, from Department of Civil Engineering at this institute. And before this joining this institute, I have served this as a scientist in the Ministry of Jal Shakti now. Earlier it is Ministry of Water Resources, Government of India. I was selected through Union Public Service Commission, through Indian Geological Services 1997 batch, UPS. So I served in the different parts of the country like Jammu, Kashmir, Chhattisgarh, and then Uttar Pradesh, not beyond that. I have visited the abroad also in the different academic programs, the number of the countries. And certainly I am going to teach you in this semester the engineering geology. And engineering geology, if abbreviated form, if you see, that is EG, means E for stands for engineering and G stands for geology. And if you, in the abbreviated form, if you call, or as a student, generally student speak is the abbreviated form either of the teacher, like HKP sir, Gautam GG sir, like that. So because I have been also a student, and you are also a student. So what I know, if it is different, then tell me. GG sir, HKP sir, abbreviated form, and abbreviated form of the subject also, like CVNT, then BPC, as you have mentioned. So in EG, if you engineering geology say that, you will be calling among yourself that it is easy. So EG is certainly easy. You have not any idea, because you are joining third semester in civil engineering, but you will certainly, I firmly believe that you will enjoy. If anybody who is having the problem in the communication through the English, then please raise your hand immediately, because just I am going to ask these things also, because in the first class, uh, the students who are having the problem related to the language, I would like to know, either you can tell on this platform just in the class, or if you are hesitant to tell, then you can communicate through WhatsApp to me. I will not leak your identity, because I know that certain students are there who do not want to be identified, because it happens. So therefore, I will maintain your confidentiality, or you can say your secrecy regarding this. Although it is everyone should be open mind. I tell you that I put all of you on the equal footing as a faculty member. I think my students are more brighter than me, and I hope that they should be more brighter, more intelligent than me. Uh, and so therefore you should never have any problem related to the asking the questions, any query, or in the class when I am teaching you, you can raise I don't mind that if any student is raising the hand or asking the question, but only the caution is that if at a time, if many students are going to ask simultaneously, then there will be interference of the sound or voice, and I will not get any question from you. So therefore, one by one, you can ask n number of the question in the theory class or practical class, whatever I am going to engage, and you are free. I will not be I will not be unhappy if you are raising the questions in between, because I know that after completion of the class, or after if the time is finished and it is 10 5 minutes left, and you think that sir is going to take the questions at the end, many students have forgotten by the time that point where they at the point where they want to ask. So let me tell you that you are free from this point. Number two, be attentive in the class, because it is my habit that I ask the questions from the students randomly. I don't pick up from anywhere among the class, either in the physical mode class or in the online mode class. I just ask and I note down that if you are not responding, it means I think that you have just connected for the attendance and you have left the class. And so be attentive in the class, and class is going to be help you as far as the preparation of the subject. And certainly I repeat that it is easy subject, and it is if anybody say you that it is a theoretical subject and it is boring subject, I think it is a misnorms or misinterpretation. Because the way teacher should teach or the faculty should teach, if that is there, that art is there, then certainly students, I believe that you will take the interest. If certainly I just share the screen and I read it, certainly you will not enjoy and you will get bored. So if the subject, I tell you that it is analysis is more. Analysis means, although you feel that it is a theoretical subject, but if the interpretation or explanation is in such a way that you do not need remembrance. I discourage to the students that you remember the things, remember the subject, conceptualize the subject, be clear clarify your concept. So let me share the syllabus through the screen, and then I will ask from you also that what is your suggestions regarding the subject or the speed of the lectures, because what is the speed today, that will be speed in the next class also. So if you feel that the speed is fast, certainly I will restrict or reduce rather the speed, so that all of you gather the information, or rather perceive the information, or you can say the communications conveyed from my side. Let me share the syllabus. I think I am audible to all of you.
Yes, sir. You are
Yes, sir,
properly
you are.
audible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, you are.
Screen is visible to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
So the course code you know very well as per the timetable, CE 13103, credit 2 for the theory. For the practical, the course code just changed, and that is also credit 2. Then there are 6 units under this subject. That is, the unit first is the minerals and the rocks. My point will be there that in the practical class also something is going to be overlapped. So if I am teaching in the theory this minerals and rocks, if you are attentive in the class, certainly the half of this unit in the practical will be covered simultaneously. So under this, the physical properties of and study. Before coming to the syllabus, I forgot to tell you that the why civil engineers should study this subject. That is more important, because nowadays nobody can say that you study this subject only. As per you know very well, you are, I think, moving towards the maturity as far as your study is concerned. National Education Policy has already been enforced. NAP 2019 it was proposed, but by 2020 it was released, National Education Policy. And according to it, if a student wants to convey that it is really the subject is up to certain use for him or her, then certainly it will be befitting as per the National Education Policy. If certain aspects is irrelevant, it is your duty or my duty also together that no, this aspect or this segment under the syllabus, under the particular unit is not required at all. And the segments which are more important under the unit, different units in the syllabus, it requires more time to be understood. So it is your feedback which is going to help us very much in formalizing the syllabus as per the National Education Policy, because the main aim, objective of the National Education Policy 2020 is that students should not get bored, or he should not feel that it is a just replica or repetition, or you can say the irrelevant segments under the syllabus which is being taught to them. So that is very important. And there are three scopes, three steps of this in the civil engineering. One is the planning, second is the design, and third is the construction. As a civil engineer, at all these stages, your involvement is very crucial and important. At the planning stage, at the design stage, and at the construction stage. If you lapse at any this stage, the structures or the project where you involve, that will have a damage, or that will have a certain demerits. Many demerits may have, or certain demerits, and the durability and sustainability of the projects will be under question. Therefore, the scope of the subject exists at all these three steps. These steps means the planning, design, and construction. How the engineering geology is going to help you at the planning stage? If suppose that in our country, if you take our country, 60 to 63% area is characterized by the hard rock, stony area, bouldery formation, mountainous area. Only 30 to 35% area in the country belongs to the alluvial plain or the plain area. It is neither characterized by the hillocks or like Indo-Gangetic plain, where the plain area is there, where suppose that Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, parts of Bihar, West Bengal, and then parts of this UP, and then certain parts of MP, and then but most of the area in West Bengal, most of the area is characterized by the plateau, then hillocks, mountainous region, rocky region, and hilly areas. The great challenge or the major challenges exist to civil engineers. You might have heard lot of failures during a lot of lives is lost, property is lost due to the landslides in the hilly area. And due to these landslides, you get the chances for the failure of the tunnels or bridges or the roads even damaged and even vanished rather at a certain point of time. So what is that? It is a challenging task to the civil engineer, and the role of engineering geology is very, very important at this. So planning, at the planning stage, how the geology is going to help. If the unit 2, if you know unit 1 and unit 2, is going to help you very much, because if you identify the location of the weak plains, fault, fold, like unit 2, structural geology. Structural geology means it is not the structure, civil engineering structure, but it is a natural structures by tectonic movements. It has been developed in by nature, and the tectonic forces are responsible for the development of fold, faults, and joints. And what are the impacts of these structures on the civil engineering projects? That has to be studied very carefully. In abroad, I'll tell you, in the foreign countries, the first geology, engineering geology, and civil engineers move together, and they cannot bypass, civil engineers cannot bypass this subject, because if you are ignoring the fold and fault and joints at the planning stage, during the construction or the design, you will be leaving that ultimately, because if you have not taken the cognizance of these natural structures, natural discontinuities in the field, then certainly you will be missing the design also. At the design में वो चीज आप लेंगे ही नहीं. If you are not taking those aspects in the design, what will happen? Either you will frame the super large design, or you will underestimate the design. And in both the cases, in the super large design, what will happen? More cost will be involved. If the under design is there, then it will be less cost, but it is durability under the questions or the stability of the projects, rather structure, civil engineering structures under state. So therefore, at the planning stage, डिजाइन में भी अगर इस चीजों को आप नहीं लेते हैं तो डिजाइन आपकी फॉल्टी होगी. इफ at the you come to the construction stage, this characterization of the material like sand क्या है? It is a geological formation, it is natural formation, geological formation. sedimentary rock से आता है, sedimentary rock deposit होती है, igneous rocks होती है, उसके erosion, जो weathering, then transportation, deposition, उसके बाद during this course of time sand is deposited and you are using the sand as a building material. You are using the cement. Limestone is a rock which is the major rock which is used under the cement, or gypsum is a mineral which is used in the cement. And if you are knowing that the quality of the limestone which is being used for the cement, then certainly you can select that this is the cement which can be used properly in the construction, during the construction. Then the rock aggregates, जिसको गिट्टी आप बोलते हैं, आपने घरों में देखा होगा, आपका घर बना होगा या कोई स्ट्रक्चर बन रहा होगा, आप देखते होंगे कि बालू, गिट्टी और सीमेंट और पानी, यही तीन मिला के कंक्रीट बनता है. If the rocks which are exposed on the surface, that is crusher से क्रश किया जाता है. Those rocks are crushed by the crusher which have been installed in our state also, यूपी, एमपी, हर जगह है, बिहार, सब जगह जहां बिल्डिंग मटेरियल्स का आपका देखेंगे वहां सब जगह है. तो कहीं से आपने रॉक जहां से तोड़ा है वहीं से आप गिट्टी बना रहे हैं, तो उसका क्या कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स है? बिकॉज in the foreign countries as well as in our country, polygonal cracks are developed, and then what is the result of the polygonal cracks? Polygonal cracks are due to the alkali silica reaction. So here the engineering geology helps. If in the practical class I will tell you how you will identify the reactive minerals under the microscope. Reactive minerals present in the rocks, in the rock aggregate. Through the three section I will tell to you through the MS team. अगर आप फिजिकल मोड में आते हैं प्रैक्टिकल करने के लिए तो और अच्छा है, उसमें तो और अच्छे से देखेंगे आप कि कितना इंपॉर्टेंस है कि अगर आप रॉक को करेक्टराइज करते हैं, यू कैन सेलेक्ट द प्रॉपर नेचर ऑफ द सीमेंट, यू कैन सेलेक्ट द प्रॉपर अमाउंट ऑफ सैंड, एंड यू कैन से दैट देयर विल बी नो पॉलीगोनल क्रैक्स इन द फ्यूचर. पॉलीगोनल क्रैक्स तुरंत नहीं बनते हैं कंक्रीट में. पता चला बिल्डिंग बन गई, उसके 10 साल 5 साल बाद रिएक्शन, एल्कली सिलिका रिएक्शन होता है. एल्कली फ्रॉम द सीमेंट, silica, free silica present in the mineral form in the rock aggregate that reacts, and that is swelling. This concrete is swelling हो जाती है. जब swell कर जाएगा तो उसकी स्ट्रेंथ घट जाएगी. कोई भी अगर आप डिजाइन किए हैं, अगर मान लीजिए आपने क्ले के ऊपर, सॉइल के ऊपर डिजाइन कोई फाउंडेशन किया है और उसकी प्रॉपर्टी आपने सॉइल की नहीं देखी कि उसमें कौन सा मिनरल है. क्ले मिनरल्स बहुत सारे होते हैं सॉइल में, जैसे कि मोंटमोर्लेनाइट, kaolin, all these minerals are there. If they get water, they absorb water, and they are having certain minerals are more swelling property. अगर swell कर गया तो आप क्या करेंगे? फाउंडेशन उसका लूज मतलब वीक हो जाएगा. तो swelling, अगर ये सब आप नहीं देखेंगे तो पता चला 10 साल 15 साल 20 साल बाद durability of the projects, stability of the projects will be under question. So there are 6 units: minerals and rocks, structural geology, as I told to you, that deep and strike of the bed. All these are the different. I am just going to upload on the MS team this syllabus, and then earthquake. And now each unit has been allocated the different number of the lectures, but this is not in the strict mode, because in the certain segments, if you are having the more interest कि सर नहीं इसको थोड़ा और डिटेल पढ़ाइए और इसको स्किप करिए, तो मैं वो करूंगा. ऐसा नहीं है कि इसमें 2 लेक्चर लिख दिया तो 2 लेक्चर के बाद अर्थक्वेक खत्म हो जाना चाहिए, चाहे स्टूडेंट्स को समझ में आए या ना आए. I may engage the extra class if you are really thinking that सर ये चीज समझ में नहीं आई हमको, हम लोगों को थोड़ा सा डिटेल बताइए. आप जो चीज आपके इंटरेस्ट की हो, जो सिविल इंजीनियरिंग में आपके काम आएगी आगे प्रोजेक्ट्स में, उसको you will automatically understand these things later on in due course of time when you are studying the strength of material, you are studying the BPC, you are studying the CBNT, then certainly you will have the idea about engineering geology applications in the civil engineering projects, construction, तब आपको समझ में आ जाएगा। और जब आप 5th semester में जाएंगे, then you will realize that whatever the sir has taught, now we are applying it, either in the lab or in the theory, in the geotechnical engineering during 5th semester. So my always suggestions to you, advice to you, instructions rather to you, that you attend the class sincerely, so that the communications or the knowledge or the communications, the information which you perceive during the class, you can use in the later semesters. And at that time, if you are keeping memory, you are not understanding because what is the type of rock, अब रॉक इंजीनियरिंग पढ़ाया जा रहा है 5th सेमेस्टर में, जियोटेक्निकल इंजीनियरिंग में स्लोप स्टेबिलिटी पढ़ाया जा रहा है। अब आपको आरक्यूडीयू आरएमआर का पता ही नहीं है, यहाँ तो हम पढ़ा रहे हैं। अगर यहाँ से आप ध्यान से सुनते रहेंगे और आप अच्छे से पढ़ते रहेंगे तो आपको आगे आने वाले समय में you will enjoy it. Since the unit 4 is the landslides and groundwater, here there is a one correction. If you find here the unit 4 landslide and rainwater harvesting, it is not the groundwater harvesting, it is the rainwater harvesting here. I think you have listened this term. It is very popular term. Nowadays it is mandatory. So I will also teach you the design of this rainwater harvesting system, how we can design for the different buildings, because it is by laws, it is the building by laws में mandatory हो गया है, बहुत जगहों पे, बहुत सारे मेट्रोपॉलिटन सिटीज में नेसेसरी हो गया है। इसलिए आपको बहुत ऐसे सिविल इंजीनियर को बहुत अच्छी तरह से जानना चाहिए व्हाट आर द मेथोडोलॉजी, व्हाट आर द डिफरेंट टेक्निक्स ऑफ द रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग structures, how you can design these structures. So the engineering materials, as I was mentioning, the building stones, engineering properties of rocks, the alkali aggregate reaction, I was mentioning that if you are not characterizing the rock aggregates properly, a reaction takes place, alkali aggregate reaction, AAR कहा जाता है इसको short form में, AAR is very common, very famous throughout the country as well as at the international world, you can say. Alkali aggregate reaction, AAR. Alkali aggregate reaction can be divided into two: alkali silica reaction, alkali carbonate reaction. फॉरेन कंट्री में, यूरोपियन कंट्रीज में क्या होता है कि आपकी कंक्रीट में ज्यादा लाइमस्टोन और कार्बोनेशियस रॉक, कार्बोनेट रॉक यूज होती हैं। हमारे कंट्री में सिलिका रिच रॉक जैसे सैंडस्टोन है और आपका ग्रेनाइट है, बहुत सारे सिलिशियस जो रॉक्स हैं, सिलिका रिच, SiO2 रिच रॉक यूज होती है हमारे कंट्री में रॉक एग्रीगेट में, जो कंक्रीट में सैंड के साथ, पानी के साथ, सीमेंट के साथ। लेकिन विदेशों में, यूरोपियन कंट्रीज में वहां है ही नहीं है, वहां लाइमस्टोन एंड कार्बोनेट रॉक्स इंपॉर्टेंट। तो एल्कली एग्रीगेट रिएक्शन में दोनों आ जाते हैं, दोनों हम पढ़ाएंगे आपको, एल्कली सिलिका रिएक्शन, एल्कली कार्बोनेट रिएक्शंस। ग्राउटिंग, व्हाई ग्राउटिंग, वेयर द एरिया इज ऑफ द ग्राउटिंग, वेयर ग्राउटिंग इज इंपॉर्टेंट, व्हाट इज द ग्राउटिंग, because there are many hair cracks developed in the dams or any tunnel or any bridges where you perform the grouting. So what are the characteristics or what are the, you can say, the criteria through in which you perform the grouting? Pozzolanic materials, the importance of pozzolanic materials, geological investigation, geological investigations for site selection of dams and reservoir tunnels, bridges and highways, principle of geophysical exploration, methods of subsurface structures. So geological investigations for site selection of dams and reservoirs, tunnels, bridges and highway, all these will be taught to you. And then later on, principles of geophysical exploration, very, very important these aspects, because suppose that you are going to design the track, railway track, the area or location for the laying down the railway track, if below the ground surface, if you are having the loose soils, then certainly that will not sustain. So the dumping side, loose soils, overburden, for that non-destructive test is performed by the geophysical method, that is called the STUTI method. I will be teaching to that also. It is very, very important. Very large scope exists for the consultancy and other things under the civil engineering. And you can decide, कुछ करना नहीं है उसमें, ड्रिलिंग नहीं करनी है, कुछ नहीं, लेकिन सरफेस के नीचे आप सभी चीजें जैसे ग्राउंड पेनिट्रेटिंग रडार, GPR, there are number of instruments which can be used to understand the subsurface profile beneath the surface, earth surface, क्या क्या है, कहाँ रॉक है जमीन के अंदर और कहाँ पानी है, कहाँ ऑयल है, कहाँ गैस है, कहाँ पे हमारी लूज सॉइल्स हैं, कहाँ पे नीचे पाइप पड़ी हुई है पहले से ऑलरेडी. All these can be explored by the geophysical method. So this is the very important methods. These are the very important methods under the geophysical explorations and geological investigations for the dam, reservoir, tunnel, bridges, and highways. So these segments, Unit 6, Unit 5, Unit 4, and Unit 2. These Unit 2, 4, 5, and 6 will be taught in detail to you. And you should also focus on these units more than Unit 1 or Unit 3, because earthquake I will be teaching in detail, but certainly you can have number of the later on also in the next semesters or onwards, the seventh semester rather, seismic design आपको आती है, seismic design, seismic zones में कैसे डिजाइन करें, seismic design, earthquake resistance design, all these are taught in the seventh semester in the civil engineering. And so therefore, and regarding the books, if these are the listed books under the references, but my point is that here in the last we have authored one also book, but I do not recommend my book because students may feel that sir is recommending his book. I give liberty to you for selection of the book, but on other hand I tell to you, if you attend the class, if you are attending the class regularly, you don't need any book. It is up to you. If you want to have more discussion on the issues related to any aspects under the syllabus, then certainly you can have the discussion with me in the class, and you can learn more than the book, because the book is older. All these books are older, 2-3 years, 4 years. कोई ऐसे 6 साल पहले लिखी गई, 4 साल पहले लिखी गई. जैसे हमने जो किताब अपनी लिखी इस पे तो 2014-15 में पब्लिश हो गई. आज 7 साल हो गए, 6 साल, उसको अपडेशन होना चाहिए. सो अगर कोई भी किताब इसमें से आप लेंगे तो उसकी अपडेटेड फॉर्म हो सकता है ना मिले. तो आप डोंट वरी, वट एवर आई एम जस्ट गोइंग टू शेयर एंड टीच टू you, certainly it will be more updated than the book. So my point is, I don't discourage that you don't have the book, but I will certainly not recommend from my side the book. The liberty is given to the readers as far as the selection of the books. So if you find that book is certainly going to help you, or it is और मैं कभी डिस्करेज भी नहीं करूंगा कि आप किताब मत पढ़ें, ऐसा नहीं. किताब को भी पढ़ें. किताब में जैसे जो कुछ लिखा है, अगर आपको हमारे कभी कभी टीचिंग में कंफ्यूजन हो रहा है कि सर किताब में तो ए दिया हुआ है, आप तो ए बता रहे हैं, इमीडिएटली यू स्टॉप मी ड्यूरिंग इन द क्लास, सर नहीं इसमें तो किताब में दिया हुआ है और देन आई विल एक्सप्लेन दैट पार्ट. ओके. लेकिन मेरा पॉइंट ये है कि इफ यू आर नॉट अटेंडिंग इन द क्लास, the book is not going to help you either for the knowledge or for the exam purpose also. If the students who are just keep them busy at the time of examination and they want, the questions are asked in the some certain tricky manner. So if it is not just straightforward that you explain the minerals, you explain this rock, like that, it is not that like that. So and this subject has also been incorporated last year in the Indian Engineering Services also. So in the UPSC, like a survey. So therefore, if my submission to you is, whatever 4 क्वेश्चन आ जाए, 5 क्वेश्चन आ जाए या 3 क्वेश्चन आ जाए यूपीएससी में, आपकी इंडियन इंजीनियरिंग सर्विसेज में, तो भी कोई बात नहीं, गलत क्यों होना चाहिए. ठीक है, आप कह सकते हैं कि सर इसे तो 4 ही 5 क्वेश्चन आते हैं, तो इसे मतलब 4-5 क्वेश्चन क्यों गलत होना है. अगर आप पढ़ रहे हैं, समय दे रहे हैं, तो यूपीएससी बेस्ड अगर क्वेश्चन आपको सिलेबस कोई समझ में आ रहा है तो आप पूछिए और उसको गलत ना होने दीजिए, क्योंकि एक क्वेश्चन का इंपॉर्टेंस है यूपीएससी में. तो जो नेक टू नेक फाइट होती है तब आपको सबको समझ में आता है कि क्या होती है. आपका जो मेन ऑब्जेक्टिव होता है 2 ही सर्विसेज का, बिसाइड्स द यू कैन से द रूटीन सिविल इंजीनियर, इंजीनियरिंग सर्विसेज एंड द सिविल सर्विसेज. So for the civil services, many students have already become successful by this subject also. केवल इसी सब्जेक्ट से ले लेते हैं और पढ़ के आगे कर लेते हैं. और बहुत सारे मेरे स्टूडेंट्स भी, यहाँ के भी स्टूडेंट्स भी पढ़ाए हुए सिविल सर्विसेज में आए हैं. अभी रिसेंटली जो लास्ट बैच आया है, उसमें भी 5 स्टूडेंट्स हैं यहाँ के इंस्टीट्यूट के। फॉर्चुनेटली आई हैव टॉट 2 out of them 5. One is under the final year in the open elective, and one is in the our course, the 3rd semester, like I am teaching to you. So you are very much bright students. Again, I repeat, but be attentive. Very intelligent you are. Anything else? Because just I am not going to consume much more time to you. I have discussed already the syllabus. I have already briefed you about the importance of the syllabus. I have already mentioned about the stages of the civil engineering in the practical mode, that is planning, design, and construction. All these 3 stages of the civil engineering, if you are losing attention at any stage, certainly the structure is not going to be successful, or if it is successful, people will laugh later on. So क्योंकि सिविल इंजीनियरिंग प्रोजेक्ट्स में 3 चीजें इंपॉर्टेंट है, बल्कि 4 कह लीजिए। स्ट्रेंथ, ड्यूरेबिलिटी। स्ट्रेंथ और ड्यूरेबिलिटी में क्या फर्क है, कोई बता सकता है? एनीवन? व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन स्ट्रेंथ एंड ड्यूरेबिलिटी?
Sir, the strength means the capacity of the building on the or the structure to bear the load, and the durability must be the duration by which the
Very
structure
good.
sustains.
Very good, Aditya. Very good. This is the very transparent and clear-cut difference which Aditya has just replied. Number 3 is aesthetic value. सिविल इंजीनियर कोई ऐसा प्रोजेक्ट बनाए जो बहुत स्ट्रेंथ अच्छा हो, ड्यूरेबिलिटी भी बड़ी अच्छी हो, लेकिन देखने में भद्दा हो, क्या कोई लाइक करता है उसको? स्ट्रक्चर शुड बी एलिगेंट आल्सो। इस सिविल इंजीनियर का कमाल होना चाहिए कि स्ट्रक्चर सुंदर भी दिखे, स्ट्रेंथ भी अच्छी रहे, और ड्यूरेबल भी रहे, और लास्ट में इकोनॉमिकल भी रहे। ठीक है? अगर जिस बीम को हम एक जिसको कहते हैं आप 16 mm बार आयरन बार, 12 mm बार कॉलम में दे रहे हैं पिलर में, अगर उसको हम 10 mm बार और 12 mm बार से वही स्ट्रेंथ हमको पता है कि ये प्रोजेक्ट इतने से बहुत अच्छी संभल सकती है, तो हम क्यों 16 mm दें? सारी एनालिसिस करने के बाद यदि आपको लगता है, कभी भी देखिए, एक तो ड्यूरेबिलिटी कारण से सिविल इंजीनियरिंग में क्या होता है कि डर के मारे एक कॉन्फिडेंस उतना नहीं आ पाता है, अरे ऐसा ना हो जाए कि स्ट्रक्चर फेल कर जाए, इसलिए बहुत सरिया दे दो, आयरन बार 16 mm दे दो, 20 mm दे दो, और दे, अरे गिर जाएगा तो हमारे ऊपर आ जाएगा, वो दो ना, इतना पैसा लगने तो क्या है। ये होता है। ये क्या शो करता है? इट शोज दैट यू हैव लॉस्ट योर कॉन्फिडेंस इन दिस सब्जेक्ट। कॉम्पिटेंसी नहीं है वो, क्योंकि आपने उस तरह की डिजाइन किया नहीं। आप डिजाइन प्रॉपर करिए। हाँ, हम ये भी नहीं है कि इकोनॉमिकल इतना हो जाए कि वो कोलैप्स कर जाए स्ट्रक्चर, ये भी नहीं होना चाहिए, लेकिन आपको ये देखना है, क्योंकि ईच पाई, ईच रूपी इज अ टैक्स पेयर मनी इन द कंट्री। You are very intelligent, you are young generation, you understand all these. I do not want to overemphasize all these. So I feel that if you realize this right from the beginning, you inculcate the culture, inculcate the, you can say, the behavior among yourself academically, that you become so much strong in any area, whatever you are, that you never lose the confidence, and you produce submit the design or the projects in such a way that people say, no, आदित्य, any अभिनीत, अभिनव, कोई भी डिजाइन दिया, अरे बहुत अच्छा है, इसको काटना मुश्किल है, ऐसा होना चाहिए। So I feel that I have given a little bit stuff today, and because it is the time of festival, so I will not take much time in the evening to you, क्योंकि हमने ऑलरेडी 12 से 1 आप हमको याद किए थे। अभी देखा मैंने MS टीम पे अभिषेक त्रिपाठी ने कन्वे किया था कि सर आपका नंबर, हमने अभिषेक आपको नंबर अपना दे दिया है, बातों बातों में, मतलब बात हुई तो आपके पास आ गया होगा नंबर अब तो।
Yes, sir.
Now you have number, you can share this my mobile number to your other CRs, so that if they are having any problem or you are having any problem in the class related to the class, you can convey. and we can communicate each other. Anything else from your side? Anything? Have you perceived whatever I told, I taught you, or whether I just communicated you today? आप
Yes, sir.
perceive किया आप लोगों ने, मतलब जो हम कम्युनिकेट कर रहे थे, क्या आप तक बात वो पहुंची है या नहीं, गोलमोल हो गया सर?
Yes, sir,
Yes,
definitely.
sir.
We got the point.
We got it, sir.
Sure, sir.
Okay. So, is there any point that is speed, related to speed, related to the mode of communication? I have already asked कि कोई स्टूडेंट्स को लगे कि नहीं सर बीच बीच में हिंदी यूज करिए, हमारे लिए थोड़ा सा अच्छा होगा, वो भी बता दीजिए। नहीं बता पाते हैं तो अपने सीआर के थ्रू आप बता सकते हैं। उनसे भी नहीं बताना चाहते हैं तो सीआर के पास नंबर है, आप व्हाट्सएप पे मुझे बता सकते हैं, ये भी लिबर्टी दिया आपको।
यस सर।
बट हाँ
हाँ सर, आप हिंदी इंग्लिश अगर मिला के बताएंगे तो सर ज्यादा बढ़िया रहेगा।
अच्छा, किसी को ऐसा प्रॉब्लम है कि हिंदी में थोड़ा बोलें कभी कभी, तो कोई दिक्कत है किसी को? एक किसी स्टूडेंट को ऐसा तो नहीं है कि हिंदी में कुछ बोल दिया तो उसको कुछ पता नहीं पड़ रहा? क्योंकि हमारे लास्ट सेमेस्टर में जो अभी बीता है उसमें एक स्टूडेंट ने कहा, वो विदेश में रहा था स्टूडेंट, वो आया है तो इंडियन ओरिजिन का, लेकिन वो तो बोला सर हमको तो जब कभी कभी आप हिंदी बोल देते हैं तो लोगों को तो बड़ा अच्छा लगता है स्टूडेंट को, लेकिन उसको हमको तो ये पल्ले नहीं पड़ता कभी कभी। ये मैं आप लोगों से पूछना चाहता हूँ कि यदि मैं हिंदी में कभी कभी बोलूँ या हिंदी सब्जेक्ट में यूज करूँ तो जिससे अच्छे समझ में आ जाए आपको, तो क्या किसी स्टूडेंट्स को उसमें प्रॉब्लम है?
No, sir.
No, sir.
हाँ, ये सीआर को मैं जिम्मेदारी देता हूँ।
नो सर।
Abhishek, you also gather the information at your level that in your class कोई ऐसा स्टूडेंट ना हो कि जो बाद में ये कहे कि नहीं सर आप तो हिंदी में बीच बीच में बोलते रहे, मुझे समझ में नहीं आया, मैं तो इंग्लिश वाला हूँ।
ओके सर।
अदरवाइज मुझे कोई समस्या नहीं है हिंदी में बात करने में और ना तो इंग्लिश में। आपने देखा ही अभी आदमी के टोन से पता चल जाता है कि कितना कंफर्टेबल मैं हिंदी में भी हूँ और उतने ही कंफर्टेबल मैं इंग्लिश में। मुझे कोई समस्या नहीं, बस आपकी परेशानी दूर होनी चाहिए, आपके तक बात पहुंचनी चाहिए, और जहां तक स्पीड की बात है वो भी बता दीजिए।
यस सर, आपकी इंग्लिश में स्पीच रेट सर बहुत हाई रहती है।
स्पीच?
यस सर, स्पीड।
अच्छा, स्पीड हाई रहती है, ठीक है, उसको भी कम करेंगे थोड़ा। देखो बहुत ज्यादा कम कर देंगे तो फिर तो मुश्किल होगा सिलेबस को भी कंप्लीट करना इन टाइम। हाँ, जरूर कम करेंगे, स्पीड को कम करेंगे, जरूर कम करेंगे। आपका सजेशन मान्य है मुझे, मैं उसको कम करूंगा, ठीक है। और कुछ?
थैंक यू सर।
और कुछ?
No,
Anything
sir.
else? If no, then I stop here. Thank you very much for sparing your valuable time with me.
Excuse me, sir.
हाँ
Sir, I want to say that you have very nice teaching style.
नाइस,
Teaching style, sir.
हमने सोचा नाइस कह रहा है हमने तो सोचा कि तुम बोलोगे कि सर आपका चेहरा बहुत नाइस है हम मजाक, हम रुको 1 मिनट बस रुको, मैं रिकॉर्डिंग ऑफ कर रहा हूं।
नहीं सर, चेहरा भी नाइस है सर।
नहीं रुको, रिकॉर्डिंग ऑफ कर रहा हूँ। हाँ,